lords and ladies, to episode 6. A New Age of Dragons is what we're calling it. So let's just kick it right off. The intro is a little different. Just a tad bit. Like, there were different sigils, obviously, representing all the fucking kids.
Yeah, I think this was like the first time I'd like realized that.
They didn't really change
like,
much.
I didn't really get it at first. And I was like, oh, I guess it's like the bloodlines racing or whatever. But then, like, with all of the time jumps we've had now, with all the different
this new one's like 10 years now.
Yeah.
So, time's gone by. And it just cuts right into the new princess. Well, not the new princess, but princess giving birth. The new actress, Emma D. Arcee.
Rhaenyra.
Yeah, Rhaenyra. Giving birth to her...
What
you find out to be her third son, but he's healthy, screaming, and they go out of their in true Game of Thrones fashion, like they do with their violence and stuff. They haven't really gone out too far out with sex yet, but they definitely did. Like, might as well show it. Like, you went through every graphic sound, like not the. I'm not saying the lady parts, but I mean just like the actual. From a different angle, you might as well have shown it because she's
the artist in you because the people don't want to see that.
That was great. I'm just saying, might as well because of everything you already did.
Yeah.
You had things that I didn't even know. I knew they happened, but the sounds were like, oh, ooh,
yeah,
like loud. That's. I'm like, is it really that loud, Tish? Like the afterbirth of shit.
It's gnarly.
And the queen. She says that right after, like, 2 seconds after the baby's out, and they're like, okay, it's healthy. The gal comes in and is like, the queen wants to see the baby immediately. And she's like, why? We know why, but why? Like, really?
Right.
I literally, just started breathing air.
Yeah.
So then Laenor arrives. Congratulate her. He's not even like, I understand not being in the room, but he's not even like in the waiting room. It's like he was out drinking and they were like, oh, by the way, your kid was born. He's like, oh shit, I better get back. I'll be back. It's all good. Give me like 30 minutes. I'll go say hi to the kid. I'll be back here at the party. And they're walking, right? She doesn't even want to like hold her hand. He's like, come on, at least let me
embrace you like you just got done having a child.
Yeah, even if it's not.
Everybody knows.
Yeah, like even if it's not for looks, it's for you need help. Like you're fucking bleeding out.
And she's just trudging along, and he's like doing all the nods and everything with hands.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And they're like, everybody's looking like, what the fuck are you doing out of bed? And then he even asks her, was it terribly painful? And she just gives him that look. It's fucking great.
Right.
It's like,
yeah.
Like, what do you think? How do I look? I'm
sweating. And he does it so jokingly because he's like not into the female form at all. Really,
he doesn't. He's never
how did
really
that go? He even says, "I'm so glad I'm not a woman. I'm so glad I'm a man."
Yeah, I'm so glad I don't know what it's like to be a woman. She's like, "Yeah, you're telling me, buddy."
Right.
And then she's like trying to get up the stairs. She keeps struggling getting up the stairs, obviously, because
she stops at the bottom.
Yeah,
and
first.
She's like, shit.
And then, so you've been through it right there, having kids. Is it because like the legs are just fucking toast?
Well,
because they didn't have epidurals back then.
Modern day, they're laid up in bed because
their legs are useless because of the drugs, right?
Yeah, and I don't imagine they can focus it. Like that's why it's dangerous back then to give them like milk in the pot room because they can't
generate it to one area.
Yeah, they can't localize.
It's like it's gonna go everywhere.
So I imagine she could walk, and there's talk of moms going back out and working the same day, and shit, out of the rice fields or whatever. But yeah, I think she stopped, and that's just like it's damaged. Like they have to like medically take care of it. Yeah, like attend to it. You know.
I mean, imagine it'd be swollen, hurt.
Yeah. Ripped. Also.
Yeah. Especially.
So, and she just caught on to like another rush of blood or something, and had to Kegel that shit.
Yeah, and like
she'd go up the stairs all slow and shit, and the one guy was like felt bad for you could see like kind of nodding her, and he's like, so glad to be like among the first to congratulate
If
you.
there's anything I can do,
Yeah.
and she's like, yeah, sometime perhaps.
The time will come.
And then he's like, that's it. And then Laenor's like, that's it. We're going back. She can come to us, and she's like, not unless you want to carry me down those fucking stairs.
Right.
And I don't think it was a strength thing. I think he was like looking, and he's like, oh, there's fucking blood everywhere.
Well,
It's
she
gonna be
didn't.
a scene.
She didn't track up there.
It didn't show a track.
I looked because I thought as soon as she did the squint thing in the bottom of the stairs, when they panned around her, there was
Yeah, you were on it right off the bat.
when she comes out of the queen's room,
Yeah,
that's where
after-
she's tracing.
yeah.
So she held it in, got in there, and was like, "Here you go, bitch.
Yeah.
I'm letting it
So,
all
but
out. You brought this here."
Before she even gets that, before she gets there though, right before she gets there, Kristen, come to find out, Sir Kristen Cole is not only, we saw that he was stopped by the Queen 10 years ago from killing himself, but you would imagine with a disgraceful act like beating a man to death at the wedding reception or the wedding rehearsal,
He's gonna
the
get
princess,
thrown out.
he was gonna at least get
King's
kicked
Guard
out.
or whatever.
Yeah, at least get thrown out of that. So obviously, it's like you said during the last episode, they probably swung it. I mean, he's the Kingsguard. Nobody thought nothing of him attacking the guy. So Alicent can really swing it any way she wants. And Laenor can't really argue because he can't go public and
She
say,
could pull it straight like Cersei and just be like, "I don't give a fuck what he did. This is my personal guard. I'm the queen.
He's
the
mine
King's
now.
Guard." Yeah.
he's mine now.
He's not wearing the cloak anymore.
Mhm.
He's just the full
Oh.
suit. He's full armored out. He's like fucking not the Hound's brother.
No,
Yeah, he's like the Mountain. He just stands outside the queen. He's like the Queen's
just
guard.
waits there.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't notice. I didn't take notice that he didn't have the cloak.
Yeah,
But
he's like her personal guard. I think.
Oh, he's like, he's not a member of the Kingsguard. He's not holier than thou now. Now he's just fucking got one of the best. Still got a great job.
Yeah.
Just kind of like privately contracted.
Kind of a little
Private contractor.
bitch.
Yeah, and then he's bitter. Acts like a dick, like princess. And then, so yeah, I guess that could explain it. You did explain it right there. And then it shows new Alicent, Olivia Cook, and I think they just fucking. I mean, I think the gal that plays Emma, that plays Rhaenyra older, plays Millie older. A good version. It's pretty close, but I think Olivia looks fucking spot on. I mean, the nose isn't as bulbous, but when you get older, your nose changes, you know. But she looks like a dead-on Alicent to me, and she's fucking in her typical Alicent way. A little bit more playing the game though. She's like fake nice, like you should be bad after your labors, and she's like, I'm sure you think so, Your Grace. Kind of like out loud we're saying that I'm sure you think so, like you're kind, Your Grace, but really like I'll bet you want me to be there, bitch.
Yeah.
But guess what? I'm here.
Yeah. What do
You
want
want my
me to
kid?
send my kid to you?
Yeah.
That's what you want?
Yeah.
No.
You knew I was gonna
You're a
be here.
mother. You should fucking know.
Yeah, you knew I was gonna walk up these fucking stairs and
Yeah.
mess this whole fucking place up like you just mentioned before. And then the king shows up, looking like 7 shades of fucking shit, dude. He's balding. It doesn't look like they're lesions anymore, but it just looks like it's taking its toll, like cancer almost or something.
It's from being your king. All you do is sit
Fuck.
around in peace and play with your Legos or build your
Fucking nothing to challenge you. That's what happens. You age too fast. My dad always said that about retirement. When you retire, he goes, look at people that retire too early. If you
Yeah.
retire too early, like you're
My
like,
dad always had those stories, so he'd be like, "Yeah, my fucking buddy smoked for 20 years. He quit, died 6 months later."
there you go.
Jeez.
There you go.
But who
Then
knows,
it's so-
who knows what the king's been through? You know?
Yeah, well, he's clearly been stressed,
he
and
parties.
yeah, he's partying now. He's an age of peace, and peace has taken its toll. Really, it really has. And his fucking wife fighting, and his little bastard kids, and all
And
that.
it makes note that she's come to him a few times about basically every time the kid's born. It
Yeah.
doesn't have dark skin.
Yeah, they find out right that he asks, or she asks what the baby's name is, and before the princess can say nothing,
Yeah, anyway.
Laenor interrupts and goes Joffrey, which I feel like that was a cop out by the writers to bring you back to the memory of his lover, because it's obviously his lover's name. But wouldn't that be more sentimental 10 years ago when they had their first son? I feel like wait until the third kid.
Maybe too fresh.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to get my fucking ass kicked.
In trouble for it too, and then have people question it too.
Yeah. But this is his third one that's most likely not his. He's just like,
fuck it. What are they going to do about it now?
Yeah.
So she kind of is like, okay, well, I guess that's... And then the king is so blissful in the idea. Like, when he sees the baby, he's like, you're such a strong prince. You know, you're going to be a strong prince. He smiles, and they, even though they all know it's bullshit, Alicent, Laenor, and fucking Rhaenyra all know it's bullshit, they still smile. They still smile seeing him smile. Because they're at least happy that he's enjoying it, and even though they're like, because he's like, look, he's got his father's nose, and then Rhaenyra looks right up at Laenor, and he looks at her, and Alicent catches them looking at each other like, but they're just like humoring him, like it makes the old fucking scene.
Well, it is his line. It's still his line.
They're all still
named her fucking heir, you know.
It's still his one way or another.
Yeah, he's like, some of their bastards. So what?
I don't care. I'm about to die. Look at me. I'm fucking on death's door here. So then, on the way out, she takes a look at the baby's hair. The queen does. Takes a look at the baby's hair. And walks right over to Laenor and is like, keep trying, Sir Laenor. Perhaps someday you'll get one that looks like you. Like, and that makes me question, too. Did they even try? Or is he just...
They try to make her... She has a quote about that later when they talk. When he's like, I'm going to go off and fight pirates. Finally, you're fucking had that kid so I can leave again or something.
Yeah, basically. But what I don't understand is, like, did they ever try to have one that looked like them just to fucking pull the wool over people's eyes?
I guess not, because the quote I was going to say that she says to her was something like, you haven't been here for the last, couple or whatever, something like that.
Yeah, you're just now concerned with it. Oh, yeah, when they're walking out, I was right there. I didn't get that far into it, but I wrote, Princess is pissed that she wasn't consulted on the name, and he's like, I feel like I should have a right to some things in the say of my family. She's like, really? You're concerned with it all of a sudden?
Yeah, it seems like you haven't had a concern before that.
Yeah. And when they get back home, Sir Harwin, and spoiler alert, you've already watched it, the real father to the children is waiting, and they all play the game for the kids.
And he's
they all play the game.
Kid.
Yeah, he's the hand of the king's kid, not the creepy one, not Littlefoot.
Was he the one hanging out with?
He was the one hanging.
We're calling him Littlefoot.
We're calling him Littlefoot, not Littlefinger, but he's the same, Littlefoot, because his foot's all jacked up. I came up with that.
Because his foot's all.
I look forward to your letters.
I liked middle finger.
But yeah, he was the one hanging out with him at the dinner. He was the younger. The one that rescued Rhaenyra when the fight broke out at the wedding. The one that picked her up.
Yeah.
The one that when Strong was talking to him,
I wonder if
the king teased him about.
Something about that. Is that where that started?
The king started.
No, I'm saying their relationship. Because those are his kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did that start? Like that relationship start when he saved her?
Maybe got her all hot and bothered. Like, oh, you're my rescuer, and he's like, well,
yeah, somebody cares.
Yeah, my other one's into boys.
My dad told me.
And the other one lost his shit, and what I was kind of counting on being a boy toy lost his shit and caused this whole fucking mess. So
yeah,
but he's clearly the real father. But they all play the game. They all play the game for the kids, obviously.
Yeah.
And he's like, "May I?" And then she's like, "Laenor, Sir Harwin would like to be introduced to Joffrey." And he's like, "Oh, of course." And he hands him the baby, and then just leaves, takes the kids out and leaves, and then they sit there and kind of talk and smile about it for a bit, which is cute, but they keep it up their little act. And then down at the dragon pits. Cuts to the dragon pits. And the kids are what I understood to be being trained on how to speak Valyrian to their dragons to command them.
Yeah.
To be dragon riders, because because some of the boys, not all, we'll get into that in a second, have dragons hatched with them, have had their dragon eggs hatched. Therefore, they have dragons, so they're learning how to, like, the commands and whatnot. And it has the whole goat, sacrifice a goat, and all that. But the whole point of the scene was kind of Aemon, their second son, doesn't have
the king's second son.
Yeah, the king's second son
Doesn't have a dragon.
doesn't have a dragon, and he's kind of quiet. And they're mean to him about it.
Yeah, so to kind of paint the picture, it's like there's the the two brown haired boys, and
Rhaenyra's
two
kids, yeah.
white haired boys, and those are the kings. And they're teaching the younger of the two brown haired kids, Rhaenyra's kids, to kind of train his dragon. And then there's kind of like the other kids picking on, you know, like both of them are picking on the younger of the white haired kids,
Aemon, yeah.
because he looks goofy and doesn't have a dragon.
And
He does look goofy.
He does.
They cast that well.
And he looks kind of like awkward, kind of quiet and shy and all that. And so they're like, well, we found you one. And he's dumb, obviously. His father mentions that later. But they bring up a pig. They didn't put like wings and fucking a tail on. And like, here, it's fucking pink.
This
They
is
thought it's a
your
pig.
Yeah, oh.
Pink Death or something like that. I wish I would have wrote that name down. But they give him shit. And it taunts him basically into going down into the dragon pit and getting close to one of the fucking gnarly ones. And it gets kind of close, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, if the dragon didn't shoot fire up, it might have been able to burn him. Like,
Yeah.
when he comes back and they pull him.
He's fucking scorched.
He's been sunburned.
He's a little burnt and a little like charred.
Yeah, it was like a little charred, but it's mostly like he's just red. Like, it's like you can
The
see.
heat.
Yeah.
So yeah, he goes down there and almost gets his head blown off with the fire, and then runs upstairs. And they bring him to the queen. The guard brings him to the queen, where she's sitting there talking to her daughter, Helena. Was it?
Yeah.
And Helena seems now. I don't know if you got the same vibe. She seems a little off. Like she's a mystic, or she's
slow.
I don't want to say slow either, because she seems intelligent, but like
Yeah.
maybe autistic, or like one of those mystics, I guess might be in those times.
Yeah,
Like,
she's like a medium or something like
yeah,
that.
because she talks in like an old fashioned way, and talks so like he'll have to close one eye and shit, weird shit.
Yeah.
But she doesn't look sickly. It doesn't look like slow. I hate to say that people look slow when they're slow, but they're depicted as more like Hodor was clearly like facially,
Right.
you could tell by the way he walked, the way he talked. She just seemed like she spoke very quietly and to herself and about odd things. Like, yes, the caterpillar says, I think it's fine. And kind of, I guess, the look on her mother's face, the queen's face, was kind of like the look of like kind of reaching over to her a little bit, wanting to touch her but not freak her out.
Yeah.
Kind of like, oh, why is that? Kind of just like,
I think it's almost like a school session. She's
Yeah, like-
attending to her.
and she's like,
Getting
straight.
down around the boys.
Yeah, the boys will be mean, but they bring Aemon there, and he basically cries to mom. They gave me a pig. Yeah. And then she runs off to fucking.
And she's blaming Rhaenyra's kid when she goes to the king. He's like,
He says, "Are you sure it wasn't
Aegon
Aemon?"
Wasn't in on that?
Aegon, what? Yeah, and then he says, and why would he believe? What are we teaching the boy if he believes that what they just
found one?
They just found a random unnamed dragon and lured it back to the fighting pits, to the dragon pits for him to ride? And then he's like, he's more a child than the children are.
Yeah.
Like, he's a baby. You babied him, you coddled him.
Yeah.
And maybe it was Aegon. Did you ever think of that? And it's just like, your grandchildren are monsters. And he's like, I'm surprised. Oh, and she's like, I'm surprised their eggs never hatched. Why is that? You know exactly why. And he's like, no, I do not. And she's like, every time I try to bring this up, and he's like, all right, hold on. And he's like, Eddard, get out of here. We'll finish fucking Legos tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll finish the Lego set tomorrow. And he's like, what are you talking about? She goes, you know damn well what I'm talking about. Having one kid like that is an accident. Having 3 kids like that is a fucking disgrace to you, to the crown, to the name, to the wedding the marriage you took so much effort in arranging for her, and to fucking decency. And he's like, you know what? I had this horse that was white, and she broke out, and the stag and the male stud across the street fucking broke out of his pen too and mounted her. They had a baby. It was Chestnut. Craziest thing ever. She's like, yeah, well, this isn't your horse. Just get your head out of your ass. You can believe what you want, but you know damn well, And he's like, I want to hear it. Basically, it seems like he just wants to fucking just let me die.
Well, it's like, it's just like when they're like, she's been fucking her uncle. When you're talking about fucking her uncle, he's like, no, like, he didn't believe it. And then even when it came around to him believing, he's still like, fuck it. Like, we're dragons. Get the fuck off our backs.
Yeah, we're gonna do what we're gonna do. What do you want me to do? She doesn't listen to me.
Yeah.
She hasn't listened since she was 17.
And what do you want me to do? Fucking, so their bastard kids kill him? Toss him out of the fucking castle? Like, what are you pitching here?
Yeah, and then I go back on my word.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do without us and the dragons?
Yeah. What do you do? Name your fucking silly kid?
The king?
Yeah.
The little one that looks like he looks so.
And she fucking gets on his ass later, and that she lays a lot of shit on him.
Oh, that is bitching. Yes. So she confides in Kristen right after talking to that, and he's basically just like, princess is spoiled. Blah.
She's a spoiled cunt. Yeah. I'm like, wow, this guy's a neckbeard. He went from fucking, will you marry me? We'll go across the sea together. I love you. To she's a spoiled cunt. Like, just because she fucking turned your bitch ass down, you're gonna go.
And you actually had a sweet deal. The best deal you were gonna get with the princess. What did you like? Yeah. What did you really expect?
Yeah.
That your dick was so good the first time around that she was gonna absolve all of her inheritance.
Yeah. He's like those entitled guys who, like, when they hit on a woman and then they deny, and then he's like, I don't want you anyway. You're an ugly bitch and stuff like that.
You're
like,
ugly.
You just can't take the rejection and walk off.
You're just a slut.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that didn't stop you from having sex with me.
You went from fucking fawn or groveling to me to fucking now you're trying to spit on me.
Yeah. Bullshit. And then so then the queen catches Aegon just fucking beating it like he owes it
out
money.
of a tower window. He's
leaning
out the window.
And that's more of the entitlement right there. Like, I'm just gonna fucking lay it down on the people because they're beneath. Like, I would have fucking drop kicked that little bastard. If that was my kid. Not out the window, I guess. No, I would have grabbed him by his hair though and been like, boy, the fuck is the matter with you?
Yeah. She just goes, who put you up to it?
Yeah, she just waits.
Oh, I just got that. She was talking about the dragon pit.
Yeah.
I thought she said who put you up to it.
Beating off in the window. I thought that was.
So he's just a fucking weirdo. He wasn't putting up. No one put him up to beating off.
It was a
He
challenge.
just beating off out the window.
How
weird.
Hey, how is that not weirder? Your buddies challenge you to it, and then how do you prove that they did it? They're down there watching you? They're down at the bottom?
I mean, you're not going to see shit if it's a good enough tower,
Well, there he is. He's in there. He's
he
in
looks
the
naked.
Is that the same window that fucking other blonde one fucking throws himself out of, by the way?
I don't know.
Anyway, so yeah, she basically says, like, was it you? And he tries to throw his cousins under the bus. And then she's like, well, you went along with it. You laughed.
That's your brother.
That's your brother. It doesn't matter what you do around at home. Out in public, we have to be strong. We have to be together. And he's like, he's a fucking pussy. And she's like, it doesn't. She's like, who's just gets beaten off out the window. She's like, doesn't matter. She's like, do you think Rhaenyra's children will be your playthings forever? And he's like, no. She's like, God, how is it that you're almost a grown man and don't see it?
Right.
She's like, as it stands, when Rhaenyra's son Jace comes of age, Jacaerys, which is after the peaceful king, right?
Yeah.
Comes of age, he will take the throne. He goes, and she goes, oh, that's it.
She's like, if your father dies, who's in fucking bad shape.
Yeah, if your father dies and she gets the throne,
and then you're
she goes, everything. She goes, your life is forfeit, and your brother's. She will put both of you to the sword, anything it takes to secure a claim. And he's like, well, then I will not challenge it. And before he can even finish, she fucking grabs him. She goes, you are the challenge.
Yep.
Just by being born, by breathing air, you are a challenge to her.
Yep.
Do you understand? And he's like, shocked, just fucking scared shitless. Like, do you not understand? Like, she's fucking gone ruthless these last 10 years. She has learned.
She basically gave the same speech that she got from her father.
Yeah.
And she was like, you need to fucking prepare to be king.
Yeah. Because here in a little while,
I'm not gonna fucking watch you die.
Yeah, everyone in their hearts, deep down they know. They can all fucking say that they're going to be loyal to her, but deep down they know who should be.
Just as we do.
That you should be king,
Yeah.
and that's how it should be, and that's how it's going to be, one way or the other.
Yep.
So there will be blood, and you better be prepared. These guys aren't going to be your little buddies. These might be people you need to fucking kill.
No shit.
These might be people you need to kill on behalf of your little brother, because you and your little brother need to take the fucking spot.
No shit. And then you need to have kids because your little brother can't be king.
Yeah.
He's
Look at him.
retarded.
He's a fucking Nancy. He just walks into the fucking dragon pit, ready to get his ass fucking destroyed. So then it cuts to Daemon across the narrow sea. And he has married Laena Valerian.
Does it cut straight to him doing the little tail drag across
yeah,
the
they're
water?
flying and they do their little dragon tricks. Where hers is bigger.
Yeah.
And she's
Vagar, is that her?
Yeah, Vagar.
He's fucking badass.
He's fucking huge. And he's got like, I like her tie downs. They're like sea style, like
Yeah,
pirate style.
yeah.
They're like nautical and nets and shit. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're doing tricks.
Flips and shit for the
Right
the
next
crowds.
to each other, too. It's got to be hard to try to get their wings to not,
Fucking collide.
Yeah. But then they're like riding straight up or something like that. And she has Vagar blow like a big plume of fire. And she bails out. And fucking Daemon and Craxus just fucking ride straight through it, just pop out. Now, you think that was like planned? Like that was their trick to show them? Or did she do that, like, joking around with him? He was supposed to, like, bail out, too,
I got
He's
the
just
feeling.
like, I'm a fucking dragon.
I
Whoa.
got the feeling it was a show to show them, like, look, fire can't hurt a dragon.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe. That's the feeling I got. And they're over there with the Sea Lord of Bravos at this point. It is the Sea Lord of Bravos, isn't it?
I think so. No, I don't know if he's the Sea Lord.
But he's a big
He's
guy.
a very rich guy.
And he's basically saying, I'll give you this mansion, fucking the lands, the plow, of the servants, whatever you want. You just gotta stay
You walk
here.
through the market, you
Basically,
get choice of anything you want.
basically stay here with your dragons. He doesn't say that.
Yeah.
But it's basically implying, like, be allies with us,
Well,
your ancestors, Valerian ancestors.
Well, he talks about how there's, like, the Triarchy and something else are gathered.
Dorne.
Yeah, Dorne. They're trying to
The Triarchy's
join up
coming
with
back.
Dorne.
And they're making an alliance with Dorne. And that's bad news. And we want you to stick around to make sure that doesn't happen.
He's like, your ancestors used to ride and clear out fucking whole navies, which turned the tide for us on our last major war or whatever.
Please do it again.
Yeah.
We'll give you this mansion and all this land and shit. And he's
Do
like,
his girls have dragons?
one of them does not. The oldest one does not.
Okay.
The younger one does. The older one does not. And I can't remember their names. It doesn't say it but briefly, and I didn't write it down.
But when the guy offers them to stay there and do that, then
She's not. She's like, we will consider it. And she doesn't like the idea at all. She says to Daemon she wants to go home. She wants to die a dragon rider's death, not living fat like some fucking foreigner.
she wants to go back to Driftmark.
Yeah, die there. She wants her children to see there, to live there, to grow up there.
Blood of Valyrian.
Yeah, and all that. And he's like, I don't want nothing to do with them and their kings and their ascensions and their fucking heirs and all that. Basically, like a child too. Like, well, I didn't get what I wanted. I'm not gonna get what I want. I have no business there. Here, I'm fucking the big shot.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest shot over there. I'm cool over there, but here I'm like,
Yeah. Like they want.
I'm the fucking biggest fucking king, and I'm the biggest fucking shit in town around here.
Yeah.
I don't want to go back to there to where I'm the second son and third to my fucking niece, who I secretly want to bone, but she won't let me.
He made it pretty clear that he doesn't want to see me there twice.
Yeah. And then I still tried to show up there and try to steal his daughter. And then somebody got their head bashed in. It was a whole thing. You were there.
And when you see him with his daughter, like, is he reading Old Valyrian to her and stuff?
Old Valyrian.
So I wonder if they're gonna be like better dragon riders or something like that, because they're not being trained
Taught.
Valyrian just to command dragons.
They're being taught the ways to be one with them and shit.
Well,
like
and
that.
like that's their heritage, that's their old language. Like Daenerys knows fluent Valyrian.
Old Valyrian.
Yeah.
I did notice that, and she mentions that you just want to stay here going over your scripts, old dragons.
Your
Dragon
ancestors,
riders,
you have nothing to
but
do with it.
your ancestors of a claim that you say you want nothing to do with. You say you want nothing to do with those people, yet you sit here and read about them all fucking day long. All day long. So then it cuts out of that, and it shows, going back. Oh, so training. And Sir Kristen is watching the boys, and he's just, as he sees Sir Harwin, he gets frustrated. Sir Harwin basically took the queen up, or the princess up, on her offer that he said no to, basically.
Yeah.
He's agreed to be her little whore, and ended up having children with her.
It seems like to be like her protector. He was
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
her.
So he's the protector of her and her family, and kind of
And
got
the City Watch.
and the City Watch kind of got what he was supposed to be and wanted. So he's just rubs him wrong, right? So he starts pushing that guy's kids a little harder. He's like, well, it's not fair when you fucking fight an adult's children. Okay, well, I'll have the kids do it. So then he has the fucking Valyrian boys team up against the smaller boys. Well, that's not fair. Okay, 1-on-1. Well, that's not fair either. He's much taller. And he's like, well, if you expect your son, or no, he doesn't say son at that point.
Yeah.
He says if you expect, if the prince is expecting to find a fight that's fair in the real world, he's not going to,
Yeah, the world isn't fair. War isn't fair.
Yeah, war isn't fair. So begin. And he just fucking pushes Aegon to fucking knock the kid down. Don't let him up. Don't let him up.
No, that's the second round that they fight.
What happens in the first one? But that was the first one.
Because like,
it shows him fighting with the two kids, and that's when he's like, it's not very fair for you, you fight.
maybe. Because,
And then it goes to the kids fight.
Because I know that like they kind of whisper to each other like before he has the two kids fight. Like the City Watch guys like kind of giving him some tips or whatever. His son.
Oh yeah.
And Kristen's giving Aegon tips.
Oh yeah. Before they start fighting, you
Yeah.
just gotta.
But I thought there was 2 rounds, but maybe there was just one.
And then they do. And he's like, yeah, don't let him up. Don't let him up. And then he finally goes and breaks it up. Sir Harwin does, throwing the prince. The prince is like, you lay your hands on me.
Yeah.
And he's like, you forget your place, Sir Harwin. That is the prince. He's like, is this what you teach, Cole? Cruelty to a weaker opponent?
Yeah.
And he's like, wow, your concern for the prince, his training is very interesting, Sir Harwin. Normally that kind of devotion, it comes from like
nephew or
cousin
or
a son. And then he just fucking
beats the shit out of him, almost like Kristen beat the shit out of Joffrey.
But he sits there and it looks like he laughs the whole time, pretty much.
Yeah, oh yeah. He's egging it on. He wanted this to happen.
Because now how are you going to refute, doesn't matter what I say. I'm just repeating a filthy rumor. And as far as you know, the way it came out was not insulting. It's just, that's odd.
Yeah.
That seems like a
family member.
Yeah, that your concern seems like a father's concern would be. And then because Hill knows that it's fucking true.
Yeah.
And is fucking irritated that he can't say it. It works. It provokes him. He beats the shit out of Kristen. He's like, say it again. Say it again. He's like, yeah, I expect. Yeah. All fucking fucked up. So he's out of the fucking guard.
Yep.
That's not good. Shows Rhaenyra thinking she's gonna go visit. She's just sitting there and hears from her lady, well, her handmaid or whatever. Did you hear what happened at the pits? Or at the training yard? No. There's been an incident, and it just shows a cut to her like racing to basically, I think, meet with Harwin, where she overhears Sir Harwin Strong talking to his dad, the Hand of the King. And his dad's basically said, "You looked up. There's no hiding it now. What's the matter with you?"
If you're putting yourself and those kids.
Yeah,
and
you do
her
not
in
realize
jeopardy.
it. You do not realize what will happen. That you will be exiled. She will be exiled. The kids will be exiled, if not killed.
Yeah.
At very least,
Have
all
fun,
of
have
you.
fun getting out of the Red Keeper, not
Yeah.
Red Keeper, the
King's Landing.
without
Big.
getting torn apart.
Yeah. And then he's like, "It's a rumor." He's like, "Don't play a fool with me, boy."
Yeah.
And he's like, "The king's blindness. The king seems to be blind." He's like, "People talk. The king's blind to it somehow. And that blindness is the only shield keeping you from the headman's fucking block."
Yep.
He's like, "I wish my father shared a similar blindness." He's like, "Oh, haven't I? The last 10 fucking years?
Oh shit. The third kid?
Come
How
on."
much you asking of all of us here?
So you're gonna go back, fucking Harrenhal, and be done with
Serve
this
your
shit.
duties.
And be done with this shit. I'm saving your life. That's all there is to it. And she's just sitting there, listening in like, "Oh, fuck. Shit hits the fan." So then it goes to her, sitting there, waiting for Lanor to get back. He gets back, drunk again, with one of his little gentlemanly collars. And she's like, "Can I speak to my husband, please?" He's like, "Of course, princess," and then leaves. And he's like, "There's war on the Stepstones." So
It's
excited.
a brewing.
So excited I can go back to
Could be out
war.
on the sea
And she's like,
with men.
with men. And that's basically, she's like, "Are you mad?"
You don't know the fuck.
She's like, "Do you not see what's fucking happening? They're onto us, man. They're onto us. They know that the kids," she's like, "they're questioning
Game
the parent."
over, man.
No,
Game
she's
over.
the way she even says it. She says, "They're questioning parentage of our sons." Vile accusations. He's like, "Accusations?" She's like, "They are our children. Damn it."
No shit.
She's like, "And their true father is not going to abandon them now to go sailing off into the sunset, winking at his sailors." And he's like, "I am a warrior and a fucking man, and I have been fucking putting up with this shit, fucking willingly."
I did my duties
Yeah,
that
willingly.
you told me I had to do.
Willingly and peacefully for 10 years. I'm owed something. And she's like, "You're owed nothing. For
She's
10
like-
years you've been fucking running around court
Drinking,
and drinking, buying
fucking any boy you want.
any boy you want in town, buying all the most expensive horses, and I haven't said a goddamn word about it."
That's what your big fucking sacrifice has
Yeah.
been.
And exactly, I'm the one that's popping out all these kids
You know.
in medieval times. No epidurals, no fucking. This
Well,
is like
she doesn't
life.
have to be fucking City Watch guy. I'm just saying.
Well, but she has to be producing heirs for somebody, and he obviously isn't even trying, like we said before. He hasn't even been like, pretend, like turn around and pretend you're a fucking boy.
Right.
Come on now, nothing. So then she's like, "You're not doing it. You're not going to abandon us to go do that." And he's like, "Yeah, oh yeah, basically, yeah, you've had all the ones. I have not begrudged you one bit. But you are not going to leave your post when the storm sets in." And he's like, "A smart sailor leaves as the storm gathers." She's like, "Fine."
Please
I command you.
Yeah.
She's like, "Fine, I command you. As princess and heir to the Iron Throne, I command you to stay in King's Landing and at my side." So then, basically, it shows Daemon's wife again talking to him, like we did before. But basically saying, "I want to go home. And you're more than this. You're not meant to be this fucking fat cat living on other people's dimes, on other people's lands. I know you don't. I know I'm not the queen you wanted, the princess, the wife, you wanted. I know who it was. We won't talk about it, but I know it wasn't me. And it's okay. It doesn't hurt my feelings. I made my peace with it.
let's just go home. Let's go home and be done with this.
Just because of that doesn't mean you have to be this fucking, play this act.
Yeah, you don't have to pretend like you're happy. We can go back to do wherever and do what you told Rhaenyra all those years ago. Fuck whoever you want. But let us do it. Can we do it home?
Yeah, no shit.
Can we do it at home, please? So, then it cuts right to the council meeting. And they discuss regular disputes, just, about grain and fields, and it's about the Tullys and whatnot. And it's not important who they are, other than it's cool that they say River Run and Tullys.
Yeah.
But what is important is that Rhaenyra argues with the Queen's judgment or opinion just for no reason. It's not really a big deal that needs to be argued, but it's also not something the Queen just needs to brush off. The Queen is like, well, it's Tully business, and they can handle it. And the King's like, I couldn't agree more, because he just wants to go to fucking bed.
Yeah, play Legos.
He wants to go play Legos and go to bed, right? And then Rhaenyra, just to be a fucking spoiled little fucking bitch to her stepmom and friend, whatever.
Well, I think it's just like, just keep her reminded. Like, you're the queen right now, and my father's up there, but
I still have a say.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, well, actually,
I don't want you thinking the small council's getting used to listen to what you say.
Yeah, which brings up a question I got. I understand why Rhaenyra was allowed to start sitting in. She used to be queen.
Yeah, why
the queen in charge.
Yeah, but
the
why
king is living in his there. Why is
there?
Alicent there? I'm assuming the king's condition is the only thing I can imagine.
Yeah.
Is that she somehow weaseled her way in by saying, I need to be at the king's side at all times because of his weak condition.
Yeah.
Because I got it written down right here. I was like, since when is she just allowed to sit there?
Almost like a translator.
Yeah, like she's like, don't answer that.
Like worm tongue.
Yeah, like
yeah.
They lean over. She's like, yeah. She's like, he goes to say something. She's like, you don't have to answer that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's like, everybody's like, oh, I was talking to the king. And that's how Rhaenyra is. Excuse me, I was talking to my daddy.
Yeah.
Like their little bitchiness towards each other. But then Alicent even says, like, of course.
Yeah.
Like,
of course you would.
You had to fucking just say your fucking piece. But then it basically says, they move on. Okay, let's problems in the stepstones. And
King's like, was there ever?
Is that ever gonna be done?
Stepstones.
And she says, basically, before that, the old man, and he's old. I can't remember who it is, but he goes, I think the Blackwoods have got the upper hand. And one of the guys goes, no, we're already onto the stepstones, Lord Holland. And he's like, and then the Lannister guy leads into like even a little bit more. Yes, and the problems in the stepstones, all loud. And Rhaenyra's looking over and she's like laughs at how he's fucking old as shit and how Lannister's giving him shit about it. But basically, that they're having a problem. They're continuing to talk about. Okay, well, Dorne is rising up against them. Okay, well, Daemon should have fucking taken care of that when he fucking fought his war there 10 years ago. And Alicent's like, yeah, that was 10 years ago, and he abandoned it. And she's like, and Rhaenyra cuts in and goes, no, we abandoned it. Yeah. We didn't fortify. We didn't send soldiers. We didn't send ships like we should have. We were lax, and now an old enemy is coming back to haunt us.
Yeah, if we're going to take the credit for, like, he did it for the kingdom.
Yeah, we beat the stepstones.
Yeah, then we got to fucking take the discredit for not fortifying, not following through.
Yeah, we never fucking did anything. And she's like, well, we're rich. We're not that rich. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're rich. You know, you don't understand. And Rhaenyra's like, no, you don't understand. Dick. Okay, whatever. Alicent's like, let's just be done with it. Let's be done with it. And then Rhaenyra realizes, okay, I gotta fucking try to make peace, right? Wait, I want to speak. And then the king's like, okay. Everybody sit back down. Alicent does not sit back down. So Rhaenyra and her are both standing just fucking, they fucking low to each other. And she basically says, I want to make peace with you. We don't have to be bickering like we're doing right now. We're one house. He married my dad, you know.
Yeah.
And,
long
and before that, we were,
yeah.
friends. We were best friends, you know. And Allison's just like, come on, man, don't bring up old shit. That doesn't matter, kind of thing. And then she's like, I propose marriage, my son to your daughter. When my son takes the Iron Throne from me, I will propose him to be wed to your daughter, and they can rule together. That way, there's no
Both
need to
houses
question
are on
in
the
charge.
throne. Yeah.
Our houses are on the throne. Still being heard.
And
in
the
charge.
king is like, that's fucking
That's
pretty
it.
like judicial fucking
Way to do it,
Yeah.
and keep the Targaryens in charge.
yeah.
Come on, Allison, what more do you run? Aegon doesn't even want it. He wants to jerk off out windows for God's sake. And she's not gonna get any other mate. She's fucking weird. She talks to herself and the caterpillars
Yeah.
and shit.
Well, yeah, now you mentioned she is maybe slow or something like that. Well, we didn't say slow, but if she is, like that would obviously put Jaharis in like the controlling
Stake of the crown.
And by male, I guess
He would be.
anyway.
Well, no, because the whole thing is he's from his mother's side, and his mother declares that it shouldn't matter whether you're male or female, but he is from her side, and she is the rightful heir. So it gets real sloppy when you start fucking each other. Shit. See? Don't do it.
Cue Daemon.
And cue David. So basically, as they're leaving, she starts lactating, and Allison's like uses that as a way to break up the meeting. Like,
But it really does like that. Like
start bleeding. Like when you're
no.
worked
I
up.
was on like so she covers up and sits back down or whatever. Like that is a big slight to like her stake to the throne. Is like that wouldn't happen to a king, you know. You're a woman, but like you're empowered. These men, like they're not gonna want to see that kind of shit.
It's a lady, it's a private thing.
Yeah, and it's like it was a
sign
slight
of weakness.
Yeah, it was like a slight to like you guys have looked forward to having a queen or whatever.
She's gonna be on her menses and
Yeah.
might blow out the handle and kill you all.
That's how I took it when that shit
Yeah.
sat back down. Then she's kind of going through all of their minds, like, this
okay.
is what we're gonna have to get used to.
That's weird.
Yeah.
King never did that. As they're leaving though, the king's like, it's a smart match. She's like, no, she's desperate. She knows that we're onto her fucking bullshit about her fucking kids, and she's trying to marry off my only daughter to one of her average-looking sons. And he's like, it's a smart match. Can we just get over this childish squabbling and bring our heads together where we're stronger? Like I said again, for the third time now this episode, he just wants it to be at peace up till he dies.
Yeah.
Like he realizes.
And this is what he sees as the best. Like shit. Like
this
I
is the
couldn't have
best.
asked for this. Like,
Yeah. I could have asked.
solution.
Yeah. This doesn't get any easier. Please just do it. And then he sits down and she basically tells him, no, over my dead body you can do that.
Yeah, and chick races off ahead of him. I'm like, wow, shit.
He's like, okay, you're normally helping me. And then
Like, I'm the king, right?
And Lord Strong wants to talk to him. She tries to send him away. He's like, I'll see him. I don't want the blanket.
Yeah.
God damn it, I'm not fucking dead yet. And Strong wants to retire. Because, like the princess, he feels the fucking eyes upon his house and everything else for what his son has done. And I imagine being someone that knows that secret and kept that secret will put you in the same predicament of exile and beheading, would it not?
Something like that. And also, it's just a good move. If you can get him out of sight, it's going to get him off people's tongues.
Yeah.
And so if he goes away,
People
stop talking about it.
Yeah.
And everybody just keeps acting like it's everything.
He flew off the handle. It was a stupid thing.
Yeah.
And then at least if they're questioning the kid's patronage, they're not questioning my son. They can question the princess in all her whorish ways. That's fine. My son's in safety. He's back at Harrenhal where I know what's going on, and I know.
My line continues.
Yeah, we're all good because we know Littlefoot ain't gonna fucking get nobody that he doesn't fucking kidnap or fucking abduct somehow. That creepy son of a bitch. Speaking of Oh, by the way, the king refuses to let him. Says no. You've served me faithfully for many years, 10 as hand. Why? Why do you need to quit? There's trouble with my house.
You're too valuable right now.
And he's like, no, you're not leaving. Tell me what this trouble is with your house. Be out with it, and we'll get past it.
Yeah,
He's like,
even she is like, yeah.
yeah, she's like, yeah, she's egging it on. She's like, yeah, come on, Sir Strong.
She looks so pissed when he
Yeah.
refused.
She's like, go ahead, go ahead, Lord Strong. Let us know what trouble has befallen your house. She's like, go ahead, motherfucker. And he's like, I can't. He's like, all right. And then he's like, no, I'm refusing. And he's like, all right, well, at least let me get my son to Harrenhal. Someone's got to take care of my house. He can't be a fucking guard no more after his fucking shameful behavior.
Yeah.
All right, you get him home, then you fucking come back.
Tell it back.
Because I need you. Because these bitches be crazy. Look at me.
Yeah.
I'm dying here. So then, excuse me, the queen meets with Lionel. I guess Lyris Strong, Littlefoot Strong, a little bastard.
Lionel.
He's just sitting there in her chambers, or some chambers that she meets him at, just fucking eating like a fucking king. And she even
He tells her when he walks in, he's like, I hope you don't mind, I took a slice of pie. I didn't know how long you'd be or something like that.
yeah, and she's like, oh, and I'm sure you indulged in the wine too. And he's like, oh no, it was meat is what it was, because he says after that, it wasn't pie, it was meat, because after that he says, well, they have wine without meat, because after that she's like, I'm sure you indulged in the wine.
Pie.
Oh yeah, meat pie.
Pigeon pie? I don't know. I don't know what a pigeon pie is. Just a reference to the old one.
That could have been a meat pie. That would have been an office reference to the old one. There you go. But he basically, he doesn't know, but she's telling him everything. So he's basically a little spy for her. But
Oh, that's what he said.
it's a
He's
give and
like,
take,
normally, I'm telling you what's going on
The
in the
cat.
kingdom. Now you are in the rare position of knowing that something I don't. And then she starts.
You're like, what the fuck? Nobody trusts me.
And
No, nobody's on my side.
he's been there over the 10 years. You know that because he's like, tells us, oh, so the king doesn't believe, or no, he says my father didn't come forth from his transgressions or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, he's been talking to her. Like,
Oh,
appeasing
for
her.
a long time. And then, ever since the garden 10 years ago, when he was like,
Yeah,
he's been planting his fucking foot ever since. And
good one.
he's smart. And he basically,
Not even as good, but
yeah, it's good. But basically, he's like, the king's blind, you know, and it's understandable. You'd probably be blind. And she's like, no, I would not.
justice.
And then she's like, I just wish my father was here. And you know, and then he talks about how his father is turning blind eyes and all that. And she's like, well, I wish my father was here. He's like, if you presume to say that your father would be biased in this situation, he would not. She's like, he would be biased to me.
Yeah, you're partial for it.
Yeah, partially. You think your father would be partial in this situation?
Impartial.
You would be wrong. He'd be partial to me. Basically, like, he'd listen to me.
Yeah, I want the
Me.
hand on my side.
Man, he'd listen to what I have to say, and he'd tell me what to do. Then he's like, okay, easy. Take care. I got you.
Back to if Rhaenyra's and Harwin's relationship kind of began with that
Night away.
right? Would it would almost be like Otto, the Strong, the hand, kind of motioned to his son to go fucking grab her?
He did. Well, he did
So
say.
I'm wondering if maybe.
Well, he was the strong. He is the
He was
strongest
the
knight. Well, he's mentioned in that one episode when Strong tries to marry him off to Lena, the king off. He goes, "What's your proposal? That I should marry my daughter to your son, to Harwin Strong, the strongest knight in all the 7 kingdoms."
Yeah.
Which coincidentally ends up being the father of her children 20 years later. Oh yeah, so he's like, I'll take care of your problems, don't worry about it. Cuts through these prisoners, he's like, you've all been busted for something. Rape, murder, deviant. You're gonna get hung tomorrow. Unless you wanna do some work for the queen.
You see the queen?
I don't even think he says with the
Things
queen.
for me.
Yeah, unless you want me to do some work for me, I can buy you a reprieve. But then he's smart enough to fucking have all their tongues cut out. So that worst case scenario, they get caught and tortured. They're never speaking the name of somebody.
Yeah,
That's fucking genius. But then it cuts to Lena trying to give birth to their third child, and Daemon, and it is stuck. And she's like full blown, like a different way. She's not even like laying down in the bed.
Yeah.
She's like flipped around, arms on the bed, you know, ass backwards, just because. And I'm not saying it like it was a different method of doing it, like because she was different, raised in a different spot. I think it got so intense that was like her trying to get a different angle on it, like laying down on my back and
Well,
arching his up.
they'll say that a lot. Like some woman going to labor,
Flipping
it's
about
like
stomach.
they start having it that way. Yeah.
Flip on your stomach, whatever. So she does that, and they basically, the guy comes to Daemon the same way they did to Viserys about Emma, and they say,
It's not coming out.
it's not coming out, I've done everything I can. I can cut her open, and maybe the baby will survive, but she'll die. And she's dying anyway, because the baby's got to the point of crowning and bleeding, and she's bleeding out no matter what. So I can either cut her open and save the baby, or not. And before Daemon even gets a chance to say no, which he does, looks like he says no, like don't cut her open. She's gone. She's just fucking gone. She runs, he follows. He catches her on the beach, and she's just kneeling in pain, screaming with her dragon.
Rhaegar.
Kill me. Alright.
Yes. Rhaegar over and over and over.
And then he's just like, I kind of like all sad.
And actually, it's like she was talking to him before Daemon comes around the corner. When he comes up
Yeah, like she's been there for
and then right when he comes on the corner.
Yeah, he didn't see it.
It's almost like a dragon like looks over and he's like, alright.
Yeah, and then like one bird, and I always envisioned them to be like torching to get the body to burn. But in reality, it wouldn't, would
It
it?
seems more like game bomb almost because like
Quick.
he does it in like maybe 2 seconds worth, and then he stops, and she like it's still going on her and stuff.
Burning.
It's like, yeah, so it's like a coating.
Of flame. And
Yeah,
shit,
it's not like it's like aerosol. You know?
Yeah. And Daemon actually looked legitimately sad.
He was shocked and then a little sad.
Like,
At first he was
whoa.
like, what the fuck?
Like she said she wanted to die a dragon rider's death, you know.
Yeah.
Not like a bitch out of
Now he's gonna go tell his daughter, is he?
Yeah, like, oh, well, and how does that look? Like, I already killed one wife. It was her dragon that did it, though, so it's a very dramatic way to go, especially with your 2 daughters. But I guess that's better.
Well, and also,
it's an example to your daughters, maybe, too.
I don't think there may be suspicion of him, though, because the doctor we just offered to fucking slice her open for him.
And he said no.
Yeah. So
And
I
that
don't think
and that
he
for
went
sure
out
would
and
have
burned her
and that for sure would have killed her.
ass. Yeah, I don't think he went out and burned her ass. I thought when we were watching it that the baby was gonna survive. Like if it was a dragon or whatever you want to call it, you know, like that would be crazy. If it, like,
Oh,
ran after
survive.
the body and the fucking kid that
It was inside.
couldn't be brought out.
Survived from
Yeah.
that. That would have been a fucking cool idea. So then it cuts to those fucking tongueless convicts sneaking about Harrenhal. And then Lord Strong just fucking. And then whoosh. And it looks like they started the fire in Harwin's room.
Yeah.
Because even though it does burn and kill Lord Strong as well, it's clearly on
Yeah.
where he cannot get out. Harwin cannot get out.
Yeah.
First and foremost, they wanted to kill Harwin.
So like his house or his like bunk or whatever you wanna
Quarters.
call it, quarters, but it was specifically Harwin's. Lord Strong
Was
was
next
locked
to
in
it.
his room basically.
Yeah, and then he dies as well. So they just burn it because Harrenhal, as he mentions to the Queen right after this, he basically tells the Queen what happened, and that children are burdens, and everybody, you know, they just end up disappointing and all that. And she's like, so They're dead, like shocked, and he's like, well, yeah, see, the thing about Harrenhal, it was built by a guy that, you know, that celebrated his own fucking glory, not smart enough to realize that he fucking built it as a big, that the bricks turn to ovens when they get hot, you know? And it's, you know, people say it's cursed. Basically, slowly describing how his father and brother were just assassinated at his order.
Yeah.
And then basically playing into the queen's mind that you basically asked me to do it.
Yeah, he says, you asked for this.
Yeah,
right?
she's like, you
And
proved
I
it.
shall oblige.
Yeah, he's like, I just, you know, she's like, he's like, you know, the spirits cast the judgment. She's like, no, you cast your judgment. And he's like, the queen is in need of help. What man in the kingdoms
What good citizen?
what good citizen in the kingdoms wouldn't come to her aid?
Yeah, wouldn't hope to see her wishes come true.
Yeah. And she's like, this isn't what I want.
Ask for, yeah.
And then he's like, well, I just hope you reward me.
No, I still see you rewarding.
I still see you rewarding me when the time is right. Oh, and then he said something about, so have you written your father yet? And that's when she's like you crazy fuck.
Yeah.
You killed your own
Yeah,
dad and
brother.
brother.
Back in his old position, found his other hand missing. You know,
Yeah. And who was the best one other than that one problem?
Yeah. And that's already solved. She's married.
Yeah, and she's gone.
Well, that's the other part we didn't cover. Yeah. She fucking hears everything. Rhaenyra hears everything. Typically goes down, right? And she fucking goes to Laenor and is like, we're getting the fuck out of here. We're going to fucking Dragonstone.
Oh yeah. She says we're going to Dragonstone. We're done, and he's like, okay. And she's like,
why
telling
would you
him,
be in the air and shit like that? Why would we leave now? She goes, a smart sailor leaves while the storm gathers.
Yeah. She basically says we can go, but and him.
Yeah,
she was bringing
she said you can take him. We're gonna need all the
swords.
men.
Yeah, Dragonstone will need all the swords it can muster. So basically, they're planning on going to war.
Oh, and that's a warrant when Daemon returns with another dead wife, does he go to Rhaenyra, Dragonstone? Or does he go to Dragonstone to find Rhaenyra there, or something like that? You know?
Probably, I would guess that. It looks like shit's coming to a head. Bring Otto back. I mean, you only got
4 more episodes.
3. No, 7, 8, 9, 10. 4.
Yeah. So, but I mean, there was a lot in the first 4 or whatever, you know. So
yeah. He's good.
We're jumping around a lot, time wise.
Yeah, they did jump up 10 years, but I think they're gonna stick around.
Well, I was like 6 months, 2 years.
This is the most significant jump, and I think they're gonna stick here for a while. Obviously, they got rid
Yeah, it's gonna get into the war time. So, you know.
Uh-huh.
If they do a time jump, it'll be maybe a few years and they get older kid actors that they want to put them in like.
Probably like the Aemon and those ones being older. I don't see anybody else.
No, I'm thinking maybe more Jaharis than.
Yeah, so he's replacing them actors,
Yeah.
right?
I don't know. I kind of like the actor for Aemon.
Depending on how old you get.
He reminds me of Daemon. I like Daemon. His character is
He's
pretty
too nerdy to be Daemon.
No, sorry, not Aemon. Aegon.
The one that jerks off out the window?
Yeah. That kid's a badass.
He's like,
So is Laenor. I didn't like Laenor.
Yeah!
He was like, I'm a fucking warrior. Like, I'm fucking war's brewing. I want to be out there, fucking in it. Boring here.
Yeah, and Rhaenyra's like, yeah, okay.
I know he's a total like douchebag and like it's against his duties like their father and shit like that. But at the same time, it's like, hey, well, I gotta sit here and raise your kids. Like, I want to be out there doing shit. These are my kids. I'd be taking them with me.
Yeah, my kids would be going to war with me.
Yeah, or fucking at least learn how to sail by now. Your kids can't even sword fight.
Yeah. So, I think that's it.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time.